Hey, and welcome. Thank y'all for tapping in to the Radical Black American podcast, where we come from a Black perspective, just a little bit different. Today, I'm personally going to be telling y'all about my trip to Africa when I went to Tanzania in 2021, December 2021. I had the time of my life, the most amazing experience, and I can't wait to go back, to tell you the truth. During that trip, a lot of things happened. 99% of it was nothing but fun. And I'm going to tell you all about little challenges, some things that was familiar to me, my first impressions of it, some of the cultural encounters, and some of the takeaways that I got. And as I'm talking about this, I want you yourself to think about what you would do if you were in Africa, or an African country that maybe you want to visit, or even tap in with me and ask the question that maybe I didn't cover. Maybe I missed the aspect of my visit, which I know I did. Just thinking about it right now, I know I'm going to miss some stuff. And I also just want you to think about Africa. If you're listening to this, I'm going to suggest you've already had some thoughts about Africa. Promise you, y'all, Africa is home. And I want you to look in the links in the description if you are curious about the actual work that I'm doing with the BIO, Save the State Liberia, along with the Liberian Leadership Academy. We are doing excellent work. We're doing so much good work, and we could be doing a lot more work if we had some help. You guys listening to this are that help. The people you're going to share this podcast with are that help. We are definitely asking for your help. I really hope you enjoy the podcast. I get a little loose on there. I might sound like I'm talking about home because I miss it so much. I hope y'all get a little something out of it. Tap in with y'all in a second. Peace. So what inspired me to go to Tanzania? It was 2020. It could have been even earlier when I made up my mind that I was going to go to Africa. First thing I did was I was just, with what part of Africa I wanted to go to. I was going to go to South Africa because I knew someone there, and that plan got thwarted. And then I was like, so where I'm gonna go? Because I knew I wanted to go to Africa. I wanted to get to the continent because I wanted to get to the continent. So as I'm promoting Africa and saying that Africa ain't what people think it is, but how am I gonna say that if I haven't even been to see for myself, right? Talking to a bunch of Africans is different than actually going there yourself. So it was like, I think Ghana was really, really popping at the time, and I knew a couple people in Ghana as well. So I was like, I'm gonna go to Ghana. I know some folks in Ghana. And for some reason, my bloodline starts in Gabon. My people are from the Anteki tribe of Gabon. But I haven't, my spirit is not telling me to, you have to hurry up and get to Gabon, right? I mean, to know West Africa, I have no interest in the slave castles, all the things that it would be different if we go to the slave castles and then they were turned into actual castles and it was gold. But no, it's no, this is a reminder of the doldrums that you come from. And look, you still trying to recover from that. I don't like that shit. I want to see us smashing. So fuck the slave what you call them, the slave castles. Straight the fuck up. I don't care. I don't care what y'all talk about it's power and you need to see. No, the fuck I don't. It ain't helped nobody yet. Straight up. But anyway, sorry. So I got a 5-year stamp to go to Ghana, and I was gonna go to Ghana to see some folks there. Then one of the guys from the BIO, he was going to Tanzania around the same time, and I heard of Tanzania. At the time, I was really delving into Kiswahili a bunch, so it was I was kind of dialed in on a basic level on Swahili. I was shoot, let's go to Tanzania. I ain't scared. And it was around COVID; they were shutting down everything else, and I'm not letting nothing stop me from going to Africa. So Tanzania was it, and I remember getting my ticket. I was leaving on the 8th of December, I think it was. And before leaving, I didn't have this preconceived notion that Africa is just waiting there for me to come and be this conquering prince, and when I land, everyone's gonna like kiss my ass and it's gonna be great. I had like no expectations, but I did expect it to be some differences, and I expected to like just be different. I didn't expect to just land and be like, oh, why does it look like this? Why is all this stuff on the road? Or like being super harsh in terms of judgmental. Going to Tanzania, I didn't have to take any I think I had to take the jab. I don't know if it was required. No, the test, sorry. You had to take the test. I had to get the test. I think in Tanzania, I didn't even have to get a passport. I got all my stamps. I got my passport stamps to Zanzibar on arrival. I got my stamp to Tanzania on arrival. Like I didn't have to do a whole lot. I didn't have to do a whole lot at all to get into Tanzania. You have to like write in advance and everything, let them know you coming. But I'm pretty sure I either got it online early or I got the stamp right when I got there. I can't remember. Sorry, y'all. But yeah. But all of the like, I didn't have any of the like kind of like bad news myths that people have, like, oh, Africans don't like us and all this stuff. So there, I didn't really have to struggle with that. I was more excited to go and just see everything for myself. And I also have the understanding of like, Africa is not one thing. Africa is not even like America, where like you can say one thing is like, a lot of things in America is like universal for all Americans, right? In terms of the culture of like entertainment or something like that, or food, fast food, something like that, right? Different countries in Africa has completely different culture. Even within the same country, it can be several different cultures that are completely different. So I didn't have any preconceived notions because I didn't know shit. Simple as that, right? Now, getting there, mind you, y'all, if y'all haven't listened to my like introductory or trailer, like I explained how like I'm a nappy headed Cali kid, like literally ex-felon and been in prison and everything. So this is me by myself traveling to Africa. So y'all just remember that as I'm telling y'all all this stuff. I'm literally like paranoid and damn near halfway scared till I get there, because I ain't never been out the country, right? So this is like a big deal. A real big deal. So I'm really nervous, man. I'm low key nervous, not to get to Africa and be around Africans and be at home, but just to get there. Like somebody gonna come on and be like, I got you, nigga. You ain't going nowhere. You thought you was going to Africa, right? Like seriously, there was a like big part of me that was actually kind of I would say a little bit nervous. I would say on the flight though, it was a long flight, man. I flew. I can't even think of the air flight right now. What was it called? Not Ethiopia. What? Qatar Air. That's what I flew, and went to Seattle first, and then from there, man, it was like a long ass flight to damn, man, I'm so sorry, y'all, because it was such a cool place, too. I'm talking about a fascinating airport. It says it's the world's best airport. Was it Qatar? Shit, it could be the Qatar airport, actually. Like literally, and I remember the World Cup was there that year, too. It was just a poppin' ass year for some reason, or something was going on there. They had like a FIFA Cup or something was going on there. But yeah, I was just really excited just to see just to see home, right? Like I'm one of them Africans who look at it like as an African born in America, like we literally mix with all different kinds of Africa, like literally, because we were bred like animals. Therefore, we have all different kind of Africans. So if you are sitting there racking your brain like, man, I don't know, you can pick whichever one you want, man. I mean, we are in a world where nowadays men say that they women say that they men, boys say that they girls. So you can be whatever African you want. How about that? Nobody can tell you shit. All right. just a little sidebar. Now let me talk about my first impressions. Y'all, when I tell you that, like, I think it was when I got to Qatar, that big old airport, I think that's when I really started to get excited. Like, I'm about to be, because I was out of the country, So now I'm thinking like, I'm about to be in Africa soon. I think I had a few hour layover there, and it was crazy, y'all. The Qatar airport show, When I tell you, it was like being in a, I ain't never been in the like rich part of Beverly Hills or nothing, but I would imagine it's like the shopping centers there. It had the Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga in the damn airport, y'all. I'm talking about they had bathrooms and prayer rooms, and this is a Muslim country. They had smoke rooms. Like smoke rooms where you can go and like people were smoking. It was the wildest thing. They had baby changing rooms. It just made any airport I've been to in America look ridiculous. Like, it was a fascinating airport. This airport went hard. Now, when I first landed in Tanzania, y'all, like as I'm recording this, it's coming back to me, right? I didn't sit down and like write this out like it was a speech. It's my experience, right? Whatever comes back to me, that's what y'all gonna get. I'm sure I'm gonna miss some stuff, but y'all, when I landed, I wish I could explain in words to y'all, man. Just looking at the landscape and where I landed, like the airport, all around the airport, it was like built like way out of the way where it almost looked like barren almost. You know, it was real. It was December, y'all, right? Man, I landed, it was 80-some degrees. It was 80-some degrees hot, and it was raining a little bit though. Because you know it's tropical, right? This is all the way on East Africa, Tanzania is. So it was just looking at the land, I knew I was home. It was weird. I could tell y'all this right now. So many things happened while I was there that I've never encountered before in mass, and I'll explain later. But it just felt like it made so much sense, and it felt normal. I wish I could explain that to y'all, man. I mean, I wish I could get y'all to understand and really understand what I'm saying. And the first thing I can give you is a fucking, for instance, literally. So I didn't rent a car. I went and I was like asking for a taxi or something, right? And I'm sure the dude got me. The dude, man, this motherfucker got the shit out of me, actually. But I got in a taxi or whatever. Now the airport, when you leave the airport, you're in the city, so it's like street lights and everything. Like, it looks like a little downtown and everything, right? Looks like a regular city. Excuse me. When I tell you that the lights are out there just to be there, the street lights and the stop signs is just there for decoration, y'all. Nobody paid attention to, like, they paid attention to the street lights like it was one of the blinking ones that just say stop and some shit there, but it's packed. Like, but mind you, I say this to you. Ask me how many accidents I saw. I was there 10 days. Ask me how many accidents I saw. None. Not one. And when I say that they drive, I'm talking about streets packing. They just driving, changing lanes, and you have all kind of different vehicles. You got bodas, which is the little old cars. You got a bunch of motorcycles and bicycles. You got regular sized cars like SUVs. I didn't see any huge SUVs, but like small SUVs, right? Like, I seen some Kias. I seen different kind of vehicles. But the traffic, insane. Like, the driving, insane. But when I tell you that I was so comfortable, didn't budge, but I could totally understand how somebody would get there and be like, what the fuck is going on? Insane traffic. Like, not insane as in like it's packed and you can't move. No. Insane as in the driving. Just nuts. And it felt normal to me. I was so comfortable. I really wish that I could have y'all feel this experience with me. It was wonderfully insane. So I gets to the room. Mind you, y'all, I paid $400 for 10 days. So that comes up to $40 a night. And it was a resort. And it had a big old king size bed in it, a big old big screen TV, hot water, shower. It didn't have a bathtub. Was it a bath? I don't think. No, it wasn't a bathtub. It was more like a hotel style bath with a little stand up shower. Everything in there, free meals. I know it was free breakfast. I didn't eat at the resort aside from breakfast. Got out of the resort, looked at the ocean, literally walked a few about a football field. I could see the ocean, but I could see wake up, open the curtain, the ocean right there, bam. What else? What else was my first impression once I got there? Everybody nice. I'm like, and they thought I was the most cutest American because when I come, I'm Mambo, VP, Habari Asabuhi. I'm doing all these things, and they like, what? And like I said, at the time I was studying already, but when I realized I was going to Tanzania, I started studying heavily. So my Swahili was nowhere near fluent, but I knew so much that they were like, Swahili, Swahili. I'm like, I don't, man, I'm learning. But they showed me so much love because people respect you when you respect them enough to learn any of their language instead of like talking to them crazy. Like, you don't know English while you in their country, right? But everybody was nice to me, like just nice to me. Obviously, right? I'm a paying customer, so everybody was nice to me. It was obviously a black resort. That was another good thing. Like, I didn't want to go somewhere and be where I was like all touristy, and I was with a tourist group, with a mixed group, and I was with myself and the brother who came with me. He ended up getting a spot at the same place too. Blessing upon blessing, y'all. He actually been there before, and he knew a guy, man. Noel, brother Noel. I need to hit him up too. Talk about a tour guide. We gave this dude. Remember, I said I was there for 100 days, 10 days. We gave him between the two of us $120, and he drove us all over the day, all over Dar es Salaam, man. Literally for 10 days, wherever we wanted to go. Sit down, pick up, sit down, pick up. He did that. He did all that, man, and I love him for it. Like, I'm talking about the coolest dude. Let me see what else happened upon arrival. I didn't see any police officers. I noticed a dude with a shotgun at the gate, and I'm guessing that was just to show, like, hey, we do have somebody here. You're not gonna mess with our tourists. You're not gonna mess with our guests, right? But I didn't see nothing. No violence happened the whole time I was there. I'm trying to stick on my first impressions, but I do remember seeing that, and I just looked at it because I see a gun. All right, well, and the dude was cool as a fan. He was just sitting up there chilling. Every time it would be a different guy every other day or something, but they were just cool and kick back. What did I do on my first day there? I think I just sat on the beach and just walked around. See, I was really, really intentional about not acting like a tourist. I wanted to be with the people. I just wanted to be with the people and see how they lived. That was it. And that's what I did. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember where we went that first day. I want to say we just like ate and just chilled on the beach because it was getting a little later and stuff, and we didn't really have a plan yet. I think we started like the next day, like the actual first day. Again, it was the middle of December, so in almost everywhere in America it was cold as shit, and now I'm here on the beach and it's 80 something every day. I think the high was probably like 90 something maybe, but it was 80 something every day, all day. It rained a little bit the first day, and I want to say when I left it rained a little bit, maybe the day I left a little bit, but the weather was great the whole day. I slept. I just want to tell y'all a funny story real quick before I talk about how I slept. One night, I how you wake up or you going to sleep and you dozing off, you might look up or look around, or I don't know what it was, but I look up and I see this big ass lizard, like, it's like crawling like on the side, like behind the TV. And I tell y'all, it scared the shit out of me. And I knew I couldn't do nothing. I just closed my eyes and went to sleep and said, well, this is normal. Lizards everywhere, y'all. Where I was at on the beach at the resort where I was at, lizards everywhere. Similar to how like lizards and iguanas is everywhere in Florida. Yeah, but times 10, and the motherfuckers is like times 3 in size. Just ridiculousness. Seriously. But that was a pretty funny experience though. Them damn lizards scared the shit out of me the one night though. But I actually slept fairly well. I didn't have any problems with sleep or anything. While I was there, I like to do my workout stuff. They had a little gym there, so I tried to make sure I worked out. Let me think of something else that was fairly significant on the first day. I can't think of anything about the first day. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little break, wrap this section up, and then when I come back, I'm gonna talk about some of the cultural encounters that I have, some of the like what I noticed from the daily lifestyles, and maybe some of the even stuff that was familiar to me a little bit. All right, I'll chop it up with y'all in just a second. Hey, what up, y'all? Thank you for sticking this out with me. So now I want to kind of shift and talk about like what like my daily life was like that while I was there, and kind of what I observed from just the people. Mind you, I was there for only 10 days. Obviously, I didn't meet everybody in every culture. I'm just going to talk about what I observed and what I learned through my observations. That's okay. So one of the first things that I would do every morning is wake up and go straight to the African Ocean. I like to call it the African Ocean because Africa is bigger than India, blah, blah, blah. But the Indian Ocean, African Ocean, and just look at the beach, man, just so beautiful. Like every morning, mind you, I wake up in the morning and I typically got up super early, and it was just 70 degrees warm, just feeling like it was so warm I didn't even feel like working out. I felt like I was supposed to be just sitting on the beach, like straight up. And then I would meditate, stretch a little bit, and then I'm ready to hit the streets. If my boy wasn't up yet, I'd walk around or something, see what's going on. And then they start serving breakfast, I believe like 7 in the morning, pretty early, so you could get something to eat. I ate breakfast every morning, really good breakfast too. It was always nice hot breakfast, cold cereal, everything. It was laid out. And then like on the streets, now here's the interesting part, right? Like I went through everything from a neighborhood to a village to like the city. So I seen different parts of Dar es Salaam, right? And I'm pretty sure this is the biggest, I know it's the capital of Tanzania, but I think it's the biggest city as well. Now, what I noticed like on the streets, you know how like, let's say if you're driving down whatever main street, MLK or whatever main street that you have that has like on the side of the street, so there's like stores, maybe a corner store, maybe, you know what I'm saying, a nail shop, maybe a food restaurant, right? Fast food restaurant. Now on the streets of Tanzania, like in just the like, let's say the like common area, I'm talking about the streets flooded with pop-ups. I would call them pop-ups, but just like little shops, like little shops that we'll call a pop-up. And the weather was typically warm year round, so it was not very covered, but it was just pop-up shops. Some of them was like almost like made like tents where you could walk in and it was like a little store. You know, the stores were these were the stores, and I'd go in and out, you know, $2 here, $5 here, getting little trinkets and stuff like that. But they had everything, and it was great because, you know, you was getting some authentic stuff. You don't have to worry about turning around. It's like, man, this African mask say made in China. You know what I mean? But that was mostly of what we really did. There was like a couple days where we did some stuff that we wanted to see. There was the trip at the museum that I'm gonna talk about probably later, and then there was a trip at the college of Dar es Salaam, which was so beautiful, y'all. We liked the tour guide, and right here I want to take a moment to emphasize again that how important the tour guide is. Make sure you get you a tour guide. Make sure you get you a tour guide that you can trust. Like, don't just show up in a different country, any country, and just wing it. Or, well, I would suggest go on a big group. If you're okay with going with the group, like if you can get a group of familiar people, that'd be great. But like going on a big tour with a group of strangers where you can't really do your own thing, that don't sound attractive to me. But like, I don't suggest just going on it on your own and thinking you're gonna have the time of your life, or thinking that it's the safest or wisest thing to do. Okay, now I want to share with you a memorable moment, y'all. This is one of the most memorable moments that I was there. I met a brother from Philadelphia prior to even going to Tanzania, and it just so happened we was there at the same time. This is a true story, right? And when I met him, he had another brother. I want to say that this brother from Cali too. I want to say he was Brother Allen, But we linked up. So we, some Americans in Tanzania, and we just vibed and went out to eat and stuff. And we went kind of to the Brother Allen's neighborhood and whatnot, got some pictures and everything. And then we went to one spot where the owner of this shop or store, Alan knew him like intimately. So we sat there, man, for hours. But what we did though, we went in the back of the store, and it was like an alleyway that served like a few different stores, but it was like kind of an alleyway. And there was these elders sitting in the back, smoking joints, drinking some kind of liquor. And they was just talking, but as they was talking, they were building the artifacts and the trinkets and the wooden like makeup boxes, little pipes. They were making all this out of this wood. I want to call it black and ivory. I can't remember what kind of wood they called it, but like when you start chopping at it, the ends, there were different parts that was white and different parts that was black. It was like ivory and wood. It was really strange. But they would use the coloring of it to make different. It was so cool to watch this. I'm like watching it with my own eyes. I'm watching them just chop at it with some kind of like knife thing where they just chopping the wood and just shaping it, smoking, drinking, talking. Man, it was so awesome. Like I can't express how awesome it was. And I'm talking with this Tanzanian brother. We just chopping it up. We just literally just talking about all kind of stuff. I want to say the brother started freestyling at one point. Like it was crazy, right? It was really, really, really dope to just sit there and just be with the people. Like other people might find that boring, right? You just sitting down in the back of the store, like smoking and drinking with people making. Yes, because that was how they actually live. And that is what I wanted. Like I went around, especially when we went to, let me pause. Actually, I could get to it when we went to, because there was a couple things where I was uncomfortable. That was not one thing. Anytime I was just with the people, it was amazing. It was only one. And I think it was over when I was over in the different side of Dar. The other side of Dar is when the only time I heard any even loud, like uproarious kind of sounds. And it was what one of the people said that I was with. He was like, somebody must be stealing this, because this is like one of the only times where it gets like crazy, right? And it was like literally we was driving, I think. We was driving to a different destination. It was like a crowd, and it was kind of yelling, ah. And he was like, somebody might be stealing or accused of stealing. And that's like something they will like deal with it on the streets, like literally like to death if it's that serious, because people work so hard for their twos and fews, right? Like, and I was like, interesting. You know what I mean? That was one of the things that like I wasn't expecting or anticipating. It was really interesting though. Really interesting. But another part that bothered me was Zanzibar, y'all. Let me tell you why. Now, I didn't go all over Zanzibar, obviously. The landscape, beautiful. It reminded me of, let me tell you what it reminded me of, y'all. I'm gonna have to look for these pictures, and I'm so irritated at myself because one thing I did while trying not to be so touristy, I didn't do any interviews. I was trying to be an influencer, like a travel influencer, but I wish I did. Oh, I wish I would have fanboyed out more, like, I just really wish I did. But anyway, the landscape, it reminded me of like a Jason Bourne or James Bond movie when it's like being like one of them areas where it's like the buildings are fairly high, but they're really closed in. The streets are really slim and narrow. And then the wires, y'all, I'm an electrician, right? These wires, I felt like I could jump and touch the wires, like big wires, though, lots of wires, clearly electricity for these buildings and homes and businesses. And I'm like, why are these wires? It was crazy to me. It was really crazy to me, but it looked really cool, right? Like really, really cool. Zanzibar looked really freaking cool, but it was too many others. I wanted to go to Africa for Africa, selfishly. I didn't want to go and be around tourists. I didn't want to go and be around people with the binoculars hanging down and the fans on the thing, and you know what I mean, where they clear looking. Obviously, I didn't want to go be around a bunch of white folks. Obviously, right? Like, that's not my bag. The South Africa, Johannesburg, wanting to go there. Let's go to Morocco with all. Nah, that's not me. That's not me. I want to go around, be around black people. That's just me personally. I have enough of white people here in America. Anyway, I digress. Zanzibar kind of bothered me for that reason.
But I had a blast at Zanzibar. Don't get it twisted. The water was so blue. I'm talking about we went there and back on like this fast ferry. It was a ferry, but it was so awesome, y'all. I'm like reliving it as I'm telling you, right? But it was really, 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 really wonderful. I just didn't like that there was so many others there. That's the only thing about it that bothered me. It was also a working girl. I did notice that it definitely was working girls. There are definitely some prostitution going on, but where is it not? So stop your judging eyes. stop your judging thoughts. But it was one who was just like so drunk. She looked like she was on something, yo. Like she had been drugged or something. She was just trying to keep it together and clearly like, you know what I mean, making offers to people and stuff. It was just, I just didn't like how it looked. Like, mind you, get your money. I don't care about the working girl part. Like, that's what you're doing. Like, do what you do. But it just looked like it was so just like, I don't want to say tacky. It was just like unprofessional. Let's say that it was just unprofessional, you know? And the crazy part, she clearly worked the like area where I was at, because I seen her more than once. But it was just that one time and I was like, dang, girl, she was like on one. It was during the day too. It was like, it was really, really, really fascinating to see, and it was kind of upsetting. So let me tell y'all some stuff that was like really familiar. That was really familiar to me about the place. I think the fast pace really, really shocked me. I was like, geez, this is like pretty dang cool. The shopping centers, they had a couple places where it was shopping centers where it was like, man, they even had one that had like, it was a KFC there. There was a gym there. Then there was this dang entertainment place where you can go in and like sit down and play. I think it was all place. It could have been different, but it was like a bunch of PlayStations. Literally, and it was like little cubicles, big cubicles, like couch-sized cubicles where you can go and play PlayStation for like whatever, $5 for an hour, something like that, right? And I was like, this is super dope. You know, they had, you know, the soccer games and, you know, games that you could play with somebody, and then a couple shooting games. It was a super dope idea. It was like an arcade, but with PlayStations. It was actually dope, right? Yeah, they had like stores that was like whatever shopping center where you listening to a Lucky's, a Safeway, a Fred Meyer's, I can't think of the other names, but you know, it was just like a regular Walmart. Walmart's have a big shopping center with all the things that you get when you shopping. So that was really interesting. But then it was also some stuff that was like happening there, and I was like, this is weird, but like this seems like it's normal. Y'all, when I tell you that by day 2 my ankles were like immune to the bug bites, y'all, yes, it is hella bugs, and it's just because of the climate. It's because of the climate and the I don't want to say the landscape, the agriculture. You know, it's because of all these things, but mostly the climate, the tropical climate. It is bugs, yo. I'm talking about, and it's warm, so I'm out in shorts, tank top, shirtless, and I'm walking around, y'all. Day 1, all I was doing was like, you would just see me, and if you're looking at me, all throughout the day, I'm bending over, scratching my ankles, bending over, scratching my legs, bending over, like throughout the whole day, like nonstop though. After about a day, I wasn't doing, I just noticed myself not doing it anymore. I was like, oh shit. I done got used to this stuff like that quick. And let me tell y'all about this one restaurant that we went to with some really good effing food. And I can't say the food is incredible, but it was, we ate some like ribs. They was like dry ribs, freaking fire. They was like really skinny too. Oh my goodness, so dang good. They were like, oh yeah, burnt. It was crazy. But while we was there, y'all, when I say flies, this is one of the only places I ate that was like outside. Most of the places were like outside, but it was still covered fairly, you know, fans and everything else. But this place was outside. It was like somewhere like down south or somewhere you would go and get the food and you would walk your ass outside and eat, like literally, right? So we outside grubbing, and it's like a bunch of us, and we eat. I felt like we was actually eating with the people who like worked there or own the place too, because it was a bunch of us at a table, and all of us wasn't like, I came with one person, and then the tour guide is another person. So all the other people, I don't know where they came from, like literally. So we all eating. And while we eating, people are taking turns, taking a bite and waving their arms from all the flies that keeps coming on the food and landing on the food. Y'all, when I tell you that, it was like, I can't get, it's like, you know, certain cultures, like you like go somewhere and you might eat, or they'll give you something and there's a custom to it, right? You have to do it to like show that like you respect the customer or whatever. This was like, it just seemed normal. I found myself, because I seen one dude, the dude who, like, I want to say he cooked or something, but I know he was something to do with the business that we were at, and he was doing it the most and was eating. So I start finding myself, like, kind of when he like went to bite, I would give it a wave and stuff, and it was just so awesome, man. It was just to be a part of the culture. You understand what I'm saying? Just to be with the people and be of the people and with the people. But that, like, fly stuff was like crazy. Now let me tell you about some stuff that was like really different from being in the States to me. The effing food, y'all. I ate so much fresh fish. The, like, I didn't eat a lot. It depends on where I went, but I ate a couple things of octopus. One was great. One was so disgusting because I'm like a texture eater kind of dude. And it was like, yuck. The flavor was great, but I was like, this tastes like squid titty, and it wasn't cool. Like, seriously. But, the fruit, y'all, when I tell you that, like, I think it was day one where this dude like made me a mango juice thing right in the front of my face. Freaking fire, man. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I had a couple that was trash though, because it was warm, it was really fresh, but I was like, this is hot, you know what I mean? But the mango juice is dumb. It's ridiculously good. The passion fruit, stupid, really good. Like, they had some drinks that was just like crazy. I'm talking about the fresh fruit stuff was crazy. They did have some that I didn't like, right? Like, but everything was fresh though. The fish, so many different fishes, y'all. And you know, they serve you the fish with the head on it and everything, right? I'm talking about good fish, man. Fried, grilled, all kind of ways. So good. The air, man, the skies look so different, y'all. I'm talking about the sky look different. The smell is different. The sand is different. The crabs look different. Everything looked different. Like, seriously, everything looked different. I tasted a Snicker that, like, you unwrap it like it was like a hard candy. You know how you got the wrappers on both sides, so you twist it open. It was a Snicker like that, so I had to get it, right? It was a little Snicker. Tastes so different. I looked at the thing. It's like obvious that they like, it's less processed, like some of the food. Straight up. I think I had KFC. I think that tasted the same. It was on a college campus. The college campus, right? Like on it or really near it is a huge mall too. That was interesting, but I had KFC. KFC was it was the staple there. The staple fast food restaurant. That's the one I saw the most. I saw a few KFCs. Not many. I saw like 2 or 3, right? What else? After like the third day I was there, I had a crazy realization that I had, because at the time, you know, Black Lives Matter was really heavy. COVID stuff was really heavy. Don't y'all know I didn't see one Black Lives Matter, nothing. No hashtag anything, you know, none of that stuff. And that was really cool not to see. For real. Let me tell you about an experience that was really cool. It was the one day where we did do some touristy stuff. I don't even know if that's a word. Is that a word? Touristy. But we did do some semi-touristy stuff, and we had went to it was a museum, and it was like a museum / school. I know they were teaching kids there, and on that day they were having like an impromptu talent show where the kids and they were like dressed in private school clothes, like blue pants and then white t-shirts, you know, blue pants, blue skirts, and white t-shirts. And they were like various ages. It was some that was really small, looked like, then it was some that looked like they were in like high school age too, like middle school at least. But one did a poem, couple like a group, a lot of them was dancing to this music and everything. And one brother got up, and I don't know if he was singing. I think he was rapping. It was like he was rapping or doing spoken word. And he had everybody swooning and stuff, and everybody's rock. Man, it was so dope, man. I gotta go back I done lost so many phones since then. Y'all gotta find these videos and footage, but I actually got some footage of this. It was so wonderful seeing these African kids just have a wonderful time. The brother who was at the museum, who was giving us like the little tour, he was just breaking down some of the history and the stuff that I had no idea about Tanzania, right? Because I'm not a history of Tanzania, even a history of Africa person. I just know that that's our home, right? But I learned a lot of stuff about Tanzania. A little bit about the history at the time that I was there. The day that we arrived, the very next day was their Independence Day. So it was like a celebration all on the TV and stuff. It was wild, man. I didn't do that intentionally either. I didn't do that intentionally at all. So yeah. I think December 10th is an Independence Day or something like that. But that was cool. Another cool thing that happened was the dinner in the neighborhood. It was this one sister. She had invited me and my guy to her neighborhood so we could see actual neighborhood, and we Uber or Lyft. I think they had, I don't know what it was, but we Uber or Lyft over to the spot, y'all, and it's like in the corner of some neighborhood. And when you go over the little hill, you see the big old neighborhood of homes, y'all, and it just looked like a regular neighborhood, just in the cuts though. And I don't know how many homes it was, but it was, 50, 100 homes. It was a lot. It was more than it looked like, and it went like a ways back. And we go here, she had very little furniture. It was warm with a fan. She made this wonderful some kind of, I don't know if it was jollof and rice jollof and beans or rice and beans and a little meat and stuff, some like Kool-Aid kind of stuff, just some regular home stuff, man. But it was the best. We smoked a joint. We just sat there and just looked up at the fan, man, and just talked. I don't even remember what we talked about, but it was simple, but it was so amazing, y'all. It was so amazing. But that was literally one of my favorite memories was that. Now when I tell you about the reflections and what I took away, one of the biggest things I took away, because I have the privilege because of my work, like I've worked with people for so long, right, in my adult life, that I've worked with all different cultures and races of folks. So I did some of the biases that like the average person carry. They've already been stricken out of my memory because I've met so many people and I know people and I've talked to people. And so I understand that a lot of stuff that I know and have learned is bullshit. But one of the biggest takeaways that I got is that when it comes down to it, in terms of us as people, as Black people, particularly in America, no one gives a fuck. No one is thinking about what's going on with us. Everyone understands that we are perfectly capable of solving our problems. They blame us. Similar to what I do. Real talk. And I don't talk about blame us for like what has happened to us, because they don't know. A lot of them don't know. And a lot of them has been through stuff they damn self that they think is just as bad, or in some cases worse. Now, whether they're right or wrong does not matter. The right thing is that now in 2024, we have all the tools that we need to do what we need to do to protect ourselves and to develop our own everything. So there's no reason to go knock at the door and say, hey, we've been here for 500 years. When are you going to let us be at the top with you? That's literally what I took away from everything, was to empathize with other people, because it's people that's going through stuff. It's people that's working hard for their people everywhere people's going through it, and everybody's not making excuses. And most of them people are trying to work together with scraps, while we here in America have mad resources that we could put together. That's like one of the biggest takeaways. And I guess my final thought would be like, when you think to ask somebody, well, have you been to Africa? Why are you not in Africa? Like, ask yourself, why are you asking that? Honestly. And then ask yourself that if that person is in Africa, how does that make Africa more of a reality for you? Is it just to say, oh, well, at least he's been there. Oh, well, at least he's there. Like, the help comes from you changing your mind about Africa. You being interested and attracted to Africa. And if you're not, then that's fine. But don't talk about Africa like she's your bad ex-spouse. She hasn't done anything to you. All right, y'all, there you have it. That was my trip to Africa. I really hope you got something out of it. I really do. And I really do hope that you, after listening to it, be more interested in what brains are behind what we're doing. Because what we're doing is encouraging people to first get a passport, get to Africa, and then realize that how much work we can do together if we put our resources together. And this is for the future of our people. We can do everything that is in our power to develop individual success. We all want individual success, We all will have individual success. What about the future, though? What about our future generations? Not just our children, our children's children, our children's children's friends, our children's children's husbands and wives. What about them? We believe that we're the best. We really believe that we're the best. We have to prove it to ourselves. We have to prove it to our children. We have to prove it to our men. We have to prove it to our women. It starts with us and today. If not us, who? If not now, when? Love y'all. Peace.